Welcome. I'm Harmony Slater, your host of the Finding Harmony podcast. Over the past 20 years, I've taught thousands of yoga teachers and students to explore the intersection between ancient wisdom and modern everyday life, using mind-body practices to heal, awaken, and manifest their dreams from the inside out. This podcast is a sanctuary for those feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Are you ready to jump in and discover how these challenges aren't actually in the way, but are the way to finding harmony? Let's invite the magic back in. Welcome. Today's guest has spent more than 3 decades helping people remember that part of themselves that they've forgotten to trust. Today, we are joined by Jamie Butler, who you may know as the Everyday Medium. Jamie is a natural-born clairvoyant, and she's also a natural teacher. Her life work has been dedicated to helping people awaken their own psychic abilities and reconnect to what she calls our infinite potential for healing, joy, and success. Jamie often reminds us that it's not woo-woo, it's true. And I love that. Over the years, Jamie has helped law enforcement on unsolved cases. She has also hosted her own show on YouTube, as well as co-founded the Love and Light Institute. She's taught internationally. She has authored books, and this is 30 years of a body of work. This has been her life's work. And yet what, to me, most stands out about her gifts is that she really makes these concepts and these abilities that can seem quite out there, quite foreign and special and untouchable to many of us. Things like mediumship or channeling or connecting or seeing energy or understanding how intuition works. She makes it all feel very accessible and grounded in the here and now, and also quite humorous. So today we are going to explore what it means to awaken our own intuitive powers, our own psychic abilities, or how to connect more to our subtle energy, the subtle energy of ourselves, and how we are seeing and reading and interpreting the space around us. Energy, it doesn't have to be something that is woo-woo or foreign. It is actually the very foundation of everything you are looking at right now. Every single thing is made up of energy. And being able to feel and sense and see and know the world in the most subtle way is a true gift, but it is also our birthright. It's also something we all once had connection to. And it's my belief that this point we're at in history, in the world, with the rise of AI and stimulation and machines and automation, that it is truly calling for us to connect with what it means to be human and to go back to this birthright, to our innate capacity to be sensitive, to feel each other, to know energy, to understand each other at a heart level, to trust what you sense, to expand what you believe is possible, and to really remember that intuition isn't something that's foreign or unattainable or hard to hear, but that it's something already speaking to you. And we just need to tune our ears, tune our minds in a new way, to a different station, to a different frequency, so that we can start to hear and see and feel and understand. It's something that we uncover within ourselves when we start to slow down and pay attention in a little bit of a different way. And so Jamie's going to help us do that and guide us through some steps to do that today. Hello and welcome back.
It's not welcome back.
welcome back.
Hi, welcome to the Finding Harmony podcast. This is your host, Harmony Slater, your co-host, Mr. Harmony Slater, Russell. It is a pleasure to meet our next guest, Dr. Jamie Butler. Nice to meet you.
I will be doctor today.
Yes.
Maybe you can channel a doctor.
I'm a little self-conscious. I'm aware that our energies are being observed, and I'm wondering what kind of read you have so far.
It was just to get to know you, but I don't look deeper than that.
All right.
I was just observing how playful the both of you are. There's lots of, I kind of color coded. That was a way for me to feel more sane with getting so much information. You just kind of organize it in a way that fits. So you have a lot of yellow and then some mustard colors, which I resonate strongly with because I call it the Peter Pan energy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how old you are playful. And you are in it to have a good time. And it doesn't matter what kind of situation. It could be very, very serious. And I know Russell will bring his A game on a belly laugh that's probably really inappropriate, but so welcomed. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, thank you, like, for poking at it or just dismantling a little bit so we can feel comfortable.
Does she watch the show?
No.
Has she seen the show before?
She's got gifts, man.
My goodness gracious.
It's so cool you said that, too, because I was watching your YouTube video where you were talking about how to see auras and read auras and explaining all about the color coding. And so I was kind of like, there with you, going through it. And I was like, I think Jamie has like a yellow energy. So now I feel very affirmed in my assessment.
You're very good at this. Yes, it is.
What the fuck are you two talking about? Can we back up? What you said mustard? I like mustard a lot. What do you? Can you tell us about this color coding thing? What are you?
What do you mean? What am I? Like,
you're a medium. You're a channeler of energy.
There you go.
Can we start with that? We've had one or two people like you on the show before, but maybe you could tell us what you think that means.
But Jamie's the OG of channeling energy.
Did we get the big one? We caught the big fish.
Channeling, trance channeling, and also perceiving energy.
That's so great for the show.
Is that what you would describe it?
Absolutely. Perceiving energy. Mm-hmm. I think in the old days when we were coming out in the 90s, it was like you had to have your title. I was clairvoyant, clairaudient. Like, you would want to name it to kind of educate the person that was coming to you. We were coming out of the shadows of palmistry, Cleo, get a reading, come, see me now, like all that. Like, it's, yes, wow. But I would say more today, it's about being sensitive. Mm-hmm. We can call it that blanket statement of intuitive, and it sounds right. It feels right. Like, teaching classes, I'm noticing the people showing up that are interested in this have this fluidity with their abilities, where one of my students says, I'm like, instead of saying clairvoyant, clairsensitive, like, it's clair everything. Yeah. I'm a little bit of everything. And you use what's easiest at the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm more connected to seeing subtle light energy and hearing it. And I've built the skills of claircognizance, knowing, and clairsentient feeling, or empathic, as some people might want to call it. And so it just kind of all comes together, and it's a way that I navigate the world around me, which can be extremely overwhelming for a lot of us who are sensitive. Mm-hmm. And we find ways to organize how we collect information. And for me, that was color coding. So I would observe people's light, and they look like colors. Like, when I was a kid, I would draw people and I would make them with purple rainbows, and I would call them clown dots. The rainbow dots that are on people. Yeah. They're called chakras, but I didn't know that. They were just rainbow, like, clown dots, buttons. And so I could look at those and say, oh, that one's bigger or smaller. This one has more of this color than that one. And I started to learn personality traits and how that related to the frequencies they were carrying. So some of us can see frequency, some of us feel it, Some of us just know it. Some of us can hear it. And there's several that can actually smell or taste it psychically. And I like to teach that as well as teach trance channeling, as you mentioned before. And this has been part of my world for over 35 years. Are we allowed to say that
Yeah,
out
we won't
loud?
tell anyone.
So you're 35 years old. So can you tell us when you were like 2 or 3, do you have like a clear memory of when you noticed that maybe other people didn't have this, and do you have a clear memory of like, wow, I'm getting a read for the first
Yeah,
time?
I was probably 5 or 6 because I just thought everybody else saw everything that I did. And I would just talk to the air, as my mom would say. I would just communicate to trees, animals, just sit and talk, and just really enjoy myself. My mom would say, I never worried about you. I just always knew there was something good about you. There was something safe about you. I didn't have to worry about you. And then when I got old enough to understand that they weren't engaging with the things I was, it was really confusing and very sad. And my mom approached me one day when we were in Helen, Georgia. There's a beautiful state park up there. And she was like, your imaginary friends and everything, they told me they want to stay here. And it's like, that was the first time she really engaged that they had spoken to her. And I was like, she believes me and she knows. And it's just even talking about it, I have goosebumps
me
everywhere.
too, actually.
And so I was like, okay, they want to stay. And she's like, yeah, you need to tell them goodbye. Like they want to be here. You have to say goodbye. I was like, okay. And like, how do you navigate as a little kid who is having a real experience with spirit and entity and building deep relationships? They were very caring, very loving. I learned a lot from them growing up versus the mom that you deeply love and respect. Like, where do you go? So I sided with my mom. I said goodbye to them. I remember being in the car. It takes about 8 hours to get back to Lakeland, Florida. And I sobbed and I cried the whole 8 hours. And every now and then my mom would turn around and just go, remember, they're staying in Helen, Georgia. Like, don't bring them back. You could tell like she had it. Yeah. And I remember just focusing on my shoes pressed up against the back of the driver's seat and just trying to manage what's it like I'm alone now. And they never came back that way again. Like, they respected the choice I made. I turned it off. I cut it off. And it was so lonely. Like, sleeping at night, not hearing the songs or the voices in my head. Like, it was just all comfort and it was gone. It was crazy times.
Weren't there Lakeland spirits that you could speak to?
I wasn't that much engaged with like the house spirits or land spirits. This was just like my spirit team that was with me as a kid. And then when I turned it off, kind of like just all the lights went away. I just didn't see as much as I was before. I didn't know what was going to happen. It would just come like in a dream state or sporadically throughout the years. It wasn't a daily thing that it was.
Right. Yeah.
Until I moved away and I went to college.
Yeah. What
Moved out of the
happened?
house.
What happened then?
That was wild. I got thrown back into sensing, seeing, feeling, and the way I managed it was really irresponsible. I went to drugs. I don't recommend it. People, like, own your gifts. Please take the time to learn what's happening to you. But I was taking drugs to make it go away, and all my friends in college were taking drugs to make it all come to life, and I was just like, dumb it down. Let's take drugs and go to school so I could learn my lessons without spirit standing next to me going, I know you see me. Like, I know you can communicate to me. Can you tell this person that? And I'm just like, no. Like, oh my God, what's happening? So I called my dad and I was like, I need help. Like, I'm going insane. I'm hearing voices. I'm seeing things people aren't seeing. And I know things that people don't know. And he was like, well, you got to call your grandmother, my Nana. I was like, why? Why? She's like Miss Proper, drink with her pinky out, New Englander.
Oh.
Why would I tell her this? He was like, well, it kind of runs in the family. I was like, oh my God. So I called her and she apologized, for I don't know, shutting it down. She was like, we just didn't know what to do. Like it was, taboo. We didn't want you. My aunt has it, my dad's sister, and she had a really hard time in college. And so she turned it off. And my grandmother was like, why don't you be the first one to learn how to be with it? Why don't you help people? I was just like, help people? How do you help people? I can't even wake up. I can't fall asleep by myself. Like I'm huddled in the corner of my bedroom, like with a bat, and sometimes with like a vacuum cleaner extension, because I couldn't differentiate if it was a real person breaking into my house or was it a spirit. Like sometimes they look so solid. Like it's mind boggling. Wow. So I was like, I don't know if I really want this. She was like, find somebody. So I found somebody and I studied kind of privately. And then my family, the first time they acknowledged that, hey, their daughter's kind of doing this. My dad was more open to it, but my mom was like, that was at my wedding. And my dad did this elaborate toast. He's like, Jamie is like the wind. I don't need to see what she's doing or what she's able to do. I can feel it. And just like you don't see the wind, but you can feel it brush against your face. You can feel it, come against you. And he says, I know what she's doing is real. And he acknowledged it in front of extended family and everyone. And it was like this big, support that I didn't get as a kid. So it just kind of corrected itself, and it was so like, beautiful. Okay, I was already in the field. I couldn't avoid it.
Were you ever worried that it was like schizophrenia and that
yes.
I mean,
oh, good. Yes.
Yeah. And okay. And then who did you find to help you?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah. I'm reading your mind now.
I love to call her this old Italian bird.
Yeah.
And she was, I'm in my early 20s. She's in probably her 60s. And straight up Italian woman. She had these incredible gifts, Marguerite Romas. And I was going to UF at the time in Gainesville, Florida. And I'd heard about her. And there was this class called, it was a 6-week class, build your psychic abilities. Explore it. And I was like, I don't even know the word psychic.
For credit or outside of class?
It was outside of class.
Okay.
It was this extra thing, but she had befriended all the professors and stuff.
Wow.
And so you would take it off campus. And so I went there and she just kind of made eye contact with me and was like, you will be joining me at my home. And I was like, no, thanks. I don't know who you are. It's okay. She was like, nope. Every Tuesday night, you're going to come to my house. I teach a small class, and that is a personal invite. So I will see you. She was, I don't invite everyone. I was like, okay. So I went, and it took about 2 years of working with her before I could turn the lights off. So I could walk into a grocery store and not see lights and colors and shimmeries and spirits and all kinds of things glowing off of people and the grocery carts and the cereal boxes. Everything has energy on it. Everything is made of energy. And it was just, you learn to ignore it, but it was still there. And I just never felt like I could kind of be me. I was always managing it. And so she helped me turn that off and be who I am rather than the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a gift.
That's super interesting. Harmony and I had an experience with an ayahuasquero, and we both have been kind of really this past season studying about shamanic practices. The work that I've been looking at is Peruvian bruja and brujos and curanderos. Are you also in that part of the geography of the world?
Yes.
You're also in the same place. So one thing that came up that I read, I think just 2 days ago, was this notion of an oppressed people using shamanism as a tool of defiance. As what, if you're being oppressed, how can you affect the dis-ease that's working with you? And working with a shaman is maybe a way to find a conduit for healing. I'm not sure if any of that resonates with you, but it just struck me that you're learning this lineage of shamanism or witchcraft, and it's fascinating.
I would love to understand more of what you mean by oppressed.
Oh,
Like, where does it come from? Is it any avenue?
yeah, that in Peru they've been colonized by the Spanish.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And so for a lot of us who are working with, say, patriarchal oppression or race oppression or gender oppression, having a shamanic guide can be really useful for healing and redirecting positive energy towards living.
I would absolutely agree. But you had also mentioned like a disease. So that could, what are you talking about? Present like as illness, like a physical, mental, or emotional imbalance?
Anguish. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
that is the
Yes.
dis-ease. Yeah.
Across the board. I get right behind you and I agree with it. Like those who are sensitive and can observe that imbalance of energy, whether it's a larger structure like colonization or belief systems, even government structures, or even on a micro level where it's the individual body and their belief systems with their physical body, mental, emotional, and physical health. Working with someone like a shaman, witchcraft, however you want to put it, medium, channeler, healer, Reiki master, pranic healer. So many terms for how somebody can help you build a better relationship with the energy that you have and help you gain a different perspective of it. I was just talking about this today, how there's a set of words that are coming up that I'm done with it. Done. I don't want to say the word release and let go. I'm done. Please stop releasing and stop letting go. Let's look at what we want to hold on to. Let's look at where we want to go. Let's stop looking and treasure hunting for the things that don't fit anymore and observing them and labeling them and naming them and making them stronger as we do this, and then try to shake them off as they get sticky because we're still thinking about them and trying to work with them and mold them. No, that's done. We just stop acknowledging it. That's all. And then we gear ourselves towards those frequencies that are strengthening us, that is in alignment and that resonates with us. And then we don't have to do that anymore. And we also don't have to do the thing called, I still struggle with this. Let me know what you think. Healing. I'm done with the word healing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right? Because when we say that, we're acknowledging something's not working. We need to heal from that. We have to heal from it. Now, the act of getting stronger in health or belief systems or whatever it is, I'm all behind that. I enjoy that aspect of healing. But the act of saying, I have to heal it, I think we're growing past that point. I think that's more of an old paradigm. I think it's 3D-ness, if we want to put it that way. And we've shifted a little bit further from it, where some of these words aren't working. And so someone who is sensitive, like you're saying, Russell, would be great in helping you acknowledge that and shift your perspective away from it, so you get more results from the work you're putting out, rather than work, retrospect for 3 months and going, I feel a little bit better, but I need to do more. Like, no. We should have results quicker.
Yeah, I love that perspective because it's also coming from a place, I think, of acknowledging the wholeness, and that all of the things that, you might think were broken or needing healing are actually the gateways into your awakening, into your fullness. And so it's including those parts rather than trying to fix them or reject them or make them something different. And I love that perspective. I think it is exactly kind of where the work is going and where we're going as, a collective eventually.
Yes, I agree. I've been listening to spirits talk about having this mass consciousness come together, having a stronger collective. Communities are coming together, and we're used to saying like-minded. Like-minded people attract. Like attracts like. So we're looking for similar effects, right? Whether that's looks, belief systems, things of that nature. And then there was a conversation I had with him in a meditation, and it just made my brain fall apart. And I was like, oh my God, why don't I see it this way? And I'm doing my best now, which is the like that attracts like is in differences. Like your differences are actually going to be the thing that are the like attracts like. So it's not like-minded people per se. We can be very unique, have our sovereignty, our autonomy, and love what the other one is doing, not necessarily needing to approve, but being able to be in the same room, in the same space as something very different is happening. And it's differences that pull us together.
That's powerful. I got this image of magnets, you know, like and like is like trying to put two positives together, and they don't actually like quite go. But like positive and negative, you can actually build something with it because they connect.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. That just really glued very heavy into my head. I love it.
Well, it's interesting because the paradigm that I like to think about with this is that I had an ex-wife and you had an ex-husband, and I was constantly flooded with negative thoughts about my situation all the time, and I was very worried about switching wives because I thought in my anxious heart that I would probably just continue with the horrible thoughts. And then I got into a new relationship, and actually the thoughts went away. And we have a lot in common, but we are very different. And at the same time, it is this kind of paradigm of it's a negative and a positive, but it is also like and like. And I'm not articulating this very well because I'm just kind of coming up to this idea right now, but I resonate with it because I see the same pattern in the two of us.
Yeah, we're starting to see it more. Like, just as I was learning it too, I'm observing it in personal relationships, observing how I show up in a classroom, you know, how I was taught from a teacher that in every classroom or every gathering, there's always a wolf in the room. And the wolf is somebody who needs extra attention, or the wolf is the one who wants to destructure everything that you're throwing out. They want to disprove for whatever reason it is. And the first thing to do is to befriend the wolf. Identify the wolf and just go, you know, you're here. I love you. You vibrate differently. Thank you for standing in the room with us. That takes a lot of courage. You know, thank you for this. And so now when I see the wolf in the room, it's not this, I better make sure I sound intelligent and smart and get my ideas across, you know, or, you know, or feel like I need to defend anything. None of that is there. It's, you're here and you're very different and I love it. Thank you. And it's this instant, wait, what? There's like a moment of confusion, and then it's safety that kind of rolls out into the room.
Wow,
which is wonderful.
Yeah, I love that. That like just idea and the acknowledgement and the welcoming, because it is disarming to like an adversarial energy. And I think that's, I mean, it can just be expanded even beyond, you know, the classroom. It's like our whole world in a way, right?
Very much so.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of go back into this kind of living space that you operate in. I'm very intrigued by it. We just had the opportunity. Harmony, I have to confess, dragged me to an Eckhart Tolle lecture. And I really wasn't sure about that guy, but I left overwhelmed with his goodness. And I was like, oh, that guy is really an amazing human being on the planet. I'm really grateful to Harmony that she did drag me. She even like pretended that that's not where we were going.
Are you serious?
It's like, yeah, we're not doing that. But we have to. We're going on a date on Saturday. It's like, it's not to the Eckhart Tolle thing, is it? No, we're going out to dinner. It's like, okay. But what I heard, what you say something, it reminded me of it, is that he lives in this luminous or limbic space. There's another word.
Luminous is good.
A luminous space. Okay.
Liminal.
Liminal. He lives in this liminal space of receiving and seeing energy and seeing all things and seeing the fictional constructions of personality everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I remember like, oh, I had that once for like half an hour, like 30 years ago. But he's still in it 50, 60 years later. And sometimes in psychedelics or when I've come out of a week-long meditation retreat, I can just feel the edges of it again. But you said something and I was like, oh, that's where you're living, Jamie.
Okay. First, you did a week-long meditation and your wife had to drag you to Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Just didn't get a good
Okay.
read on him. I saw his book, saw his videos. Was like, I'm not sure. Creeps me out. Doesn't anymore. That's over. That's over with. But I definitely got, some people are channelers. Some people are not good at it. And I definitely got to read. And it was like, not that guy, no.
I appreciate you followed your gut instinct. I'm all about that. And that you trust your wife.
Yeah.
Like, check. Good.
Right. It's true.
I would love to confess that I live in this liminal world like Eckhart Tolle, but I would say for me, I call it more of a cheat sheet.
Oh.
I think I'm more silly and a little bit more earthbound than what he's achieved with abilities. And because I worked so hard at turning it off so that I can do some just normal things,
Yeah. Like raise children.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Raise children
Yeah.
who are, that's a whole other story. That's wild. I turn it on when I need more assistance. Instead of asking for help or instead of asking for a follow-up or further questions, information, I go into observing. Let me observe the light, the frequency that you carry. Let me look at the pattern that you're doing. Let me look at where there are excess energy or tears or holes. And that gives me all the information that I would need to, coexist with you, to kind of be in there to understand what's happening. And you can do that with people, inanimate objects, animals, plants. You can do it in structures like a business structure or a relationship in and of itself to see the health of it energetically. And so I tend to rely on it that way. But there are times in my life where I might be walking somewhere and it just all comes on, and then usually I get woken up with, babe, come on, we're walking this way. And I'm standing there at the tree, observing and soaking things up like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And you're like, yeah, come on, we're walking. Remember? I'm like,
Yeah, people often on mushrooms
Life.
do that.
It's so interesting. I'm curious, so you were massaging and into doing Reiki and really working sort of in the healing arts at the beginning. Were you very aware of perceiving energy in the auric field even then? Even more so maybe? Or it was on more of the time because that's where your focus was? And how is it shifted now?
Yeah, it was very much on still when I was doing my massage school, Reiki. That's where it was kind of all coming together, but I wasn't talking about it a lot because it was still, throughout my college career, once you'd figure out what I did, there was two ways that you could go. There's more than that, but it was classically, oh my God, she's weird. Get away from her.
Right.
And the other one is, I'm going to make you my best friend so you can answer all my questions. And that was exhausting.
Yeah.
And it was very rare just to find just a solid little friendship that didn't matter that I could see your light. I wasn't going to share anything about what I saw to you
Right.
or to anyone else because I learned. I lost friends. I lost everything, and it made me very quiet. So in my massage career and Reiki career, it was more like this really beautiful time about collecting information, especially about seeing diseases, how you can see the disease build in the body and how the body responds to it energetically, and how you can, I guess we can say, manipulate, move, shift, or change frequency in the body for the disease to dissolve, to work itself away. And I've worked with broken bones that have healed before the person made it to the hospital.
Wow.
And unfortunately had to get their bone rebroken because I was not smart enough to realize you don't heal something that is broken. It has to be set.
Right.
Then you want to heal the bone. And so my friend got chastised for not showing up to the hospital right away after broken. They're like, this is probably days old. And we're like, no, it just happened. So
Oh, interesting.
I make sure when I teach my Reiki classes, don't heal a bone until you know it's really set. Yeah. And I've had opportunities of working with aggressive cancers and tumors and just watching them vanish. Like I cannot stress it enough. I am not a person who believes in everything. I'm not. I'm more, show it to me, let me experience it, and then I'll tell you it's real. But if it was your experience, I'll go, that's really cool. I can't wait for that to occur around me so I can say that's real for my world. But that is very real for your world.
Right.
So whenever I share something, it's because I've gone through it and I'm like, I know what I experienced. I pay attention, of my facts and things of that nature. So watching like fourth degree burns heal up without scarring, just working with a lot of wonderful people who gave me a lot of trust and seeing that firsthand, it just makes you realize we are made of energy. And why aren't we paying attention to that a little bit more than what we are?
Yeah.
And this should be the number one thing we're focusing on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. It's profound. And we're just like so caught up in the physical and
The
not
day-to-day.
like I think a lot of it, I've thought a lot about this, but I think a lot of it comes to, I think children are very sensitive to energy naturally. And like your own story, we get taught to turn it off and numb ourselves, become dull, to like shut down certain aspects of ourselves, whether it's, aspects of our brain, aspects of our ability to perceive things. And for a lot of people, I think that shutting down is like, part of you kind of like, maybe fractures in some way or disconnects, and you have to then intentionally do things to reconnect it.
I was reading Aldous Huxley's Doors of Perception recently, and I'd never read it before until just last month, and I was really kind of struck by it because he was describing the effects of, say, a kind of a low-grade, low-dose mescaline. And the shift in his mind of stepping through the door of perception was, instead of looking at everything and describing it to himself and wondering about its quality or its name or its cost or its provenance, he just saw the light play in it. And he described that in the book. Like, that's what it's about. And I was like, oh, but that's where I live. I live in that space. I look at the world and wonder if it would make a good painting for me.
Oh.
And so I just, and so it's like, that was the thing that was not destroyed as a child.
Yeah.
Is someone told me that I painted, like, I made a really nice drawing of a rabbit or a little bunny. And said, you should keep doing that. And it's like, so I just kept doing that. And so that's how, I operate, is living and looking around and like, well, if I could just, that might be nice. I could make a painting out of that. Yeah.
How lovely that you don't immediately go to the description of the structure
Yeah.
or the name of it, or even the capturing of it in that moment. You let it become more fluid with you, more creative. I mean, the bottom line, and anyone who comes to me and is like, okay, well, where do I begin? Like,
Yeah.
how do I get this?
Yeah, that's the number one question, I think.
Yeah.
Where do I go? And I'm like, first of all, make sure you really want it, but because that's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like, where's your creativity? Where's your play? Can you play? If I give you a bunch of crayons and I say, draw something, is it stressful or is it fun? Is it limitless? Or is it like, I have to do this perfect so they like what I've done?
Yeah.
Where are you in that? Because if I throw a bunch of crayons on the table and you're like, woo, all right, I'm just going to do what I want to do, then we've got it. Let's go. Let's go. You got this. But if not, then we need to sit down and look at, why did you put those limitations on you? Who trained you that you had to perform to somebody else's standards? Minus, the probably 12 plus years you dedicated into school structures that were all about teacher has power, you pay attention and listen to me. But, it's like, where's that? Let's address that first before we get into my psychic intuition and my feelings and all of that. Because if you can open up that, you can do any of this. All of this will flow right through you.
Yeah, I'm so curious. So there's like a couple things: feelings, creativity. Like, it feels like those are really important for connecting to energy or even channeling. Would you say that those are sort of main things? Is there other things that we like learn to kind of, because I think those are things we shut down. We learn to shut down, like don't feel your feelings,
Oh my
stuff it
God, please
down.
don't. No, please do. Please do feel your body's sensations and your emotional quality.
Yeah.
I quite adore nonviolent communication, compassionate communication as a baseline of where I want my language to come from, my expression of communication. And I've been in the world for about 8 years. I don't know. It's too much time has happened, but 9, 10, I don't know what it is, but I'm constantly learning with it. So I'm sharing that I've been in there for a long time and it's still brand new. I'm still finding places where I'm like, oh, I am blocking myself and not allowing it to be a little bit more organic. And in compassionate communication, the first thing I like to present and talk about is the difference between feelings and emotions. Because emotions got the shaft. Like, we just use the word feeling for everything. And then we even use the word feeling when we mean thinking. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like eating a pizza. Do you really feel like eating a pizza? Or is it that you want to eat a pizza or you think you want it? Like, the word is lost in translation because it's really powerful. And I think it's been covered that way and used that way to dim people's lights, kind of keep them confused. And so when we talk about compassionate communication, you got to know where your emotions are. And on an average, a person uses only 8 emotions their entire life. You link on 8 different names of emotions. And there's like endless. I can think of 88 right away, but we pick 8. And that comes from your childhood. So that comes from who, was your care providers at that time or who you trusted in, and you took on their 1 or 2 and built it. And then you shoved everything else that you felt into those 8. And so unlocking that unlocks a lot of your intuitive, psychic abilities, a lot of your claircognizance. Everything just starts to bloom. So I would say yes.
Yeah.
Big player.
Yeah.
I can't
Wow.
remember the name of this dude that I knew. He worked with our organization, and he created a book on naming emotions. And he had a wonderful little color grid. And as you went through your XY axis, you were invited to name the emotion as it went from one section to the other. It really helped young people, and especially young boys, develop a lexicon for language and words that they, as you said, were previously limited to like 5 or 6, 8, maybe.
Yeah, why aren't we teaching this in school?
Yeah.
And do you find like that the emotion and even like maybe physical sensation that you might be perceiving in the body, for you, is it always, do you see it in color? Is like that sort of how you translate those things? Or is that just specific to aura and energy?
When I observe others and they're going through emotion, I can see it in color.
Yeah.
Like even when you're lying. My husband loves this trait. Especially if he's trying to hide something as a surprise.
Yeah.
Now he'll just say, "Don't look at me. Don't ask me about this." And he'll like walk away and I'm like, okay, I know it's a no zone. I need to respect him. Like, people think they have secrets. There's no secrets. There is 0 secrets out in the world. You hold all of your knowledge, all of your everything in your auric field, your energetic field, and it can be measured and observed. Trust me, there are no secrets, but we like to pretend we have them. So we don't look. But when it comes to bodily sensations, there are some that I don't tap into very well if I'm observing someone, unless it's an illness or an injury. I can observe, or a pregnancy.
You can like feel it in your body.
Well, you see it.
Yeah.
You can see.
Didn't you say that
Amazing.
you felt it immediately?
Yeah, when I was pregnant, but I don't feel other people's pregnancies in my body.
You said you felt it immediately as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
immediately. I felt like there was an energetic shift in my body.
Yes. I had one pregnancy like that, and the other one I had no clue.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
That's your secret baby.
Surprise!
That's the child that's very good at hiding things from you.
Yes, it is. Spot on.
So I want to talk a little bit about trance channeling because I find this very interesting and fascinating. And I was listening to you describe it, and I've, kind of like looked into it a little bit. My own experience, I know that feeling of kind of like not being in your body and having something kind of come through your body, or also kind of being aware of your body but not in control of your body. Can you talk a little bit about the different kinds of channeling that people experience and your experience with it?
Yeah, there's unfortunately not a ton of studies around different styles of trance channeling.
Yeah.
There's a lot of studies around altered states of consciousness. So that's labeled more towards brainwave activity from gamma, beta, alpha, theta, delta being the lowest. And our trance channeled abilities kind of rely on how that brainwave activity is happening in the body. So the way I talk about it or try to teach it is to the terms of the scientific measurement of brainwave activity. But I was put some loose names on it. I call one an auctioneer, and this is where somebody will be awake and in a conversation like we are right now, and then they just get this download, and it pops out their mouth, and they have a voice in the back of their head that goes, "Damn, that was really good. Did you just hear what you said? Oh my God. I learned from that." And they learned from themselves talking.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and they get surprised. That's downloading information from outside of you, and it just runs out your mouth. It doesn't get filtered anywhere. So I just kind of call it an auctioneer.
I like that.
That sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, you do that, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of come to and go, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the time I'm always like, why didn't I record that?
Right? It's kind of lost in the moment. You're like, oh my God, I could never get that back. Because you were in an altered state. You flipped just and let it pour through you.
Yeah.
I love those moments. I cherish them. Then you have the kind where you're actively focusing on it. So maybe this is automatic writing, where you're sharing parts of you to, offer up energies, and you're not filtering the information through, but maybe it's a little bit more slow, a little bit more controlled. Automatic writing. Sometimes we can also, if we're using a tool like a Ouija board or a talking board, this can also be a part of that, where you're going into different states and allowing the messages to move through you. Then there's shared space, where you're in a low alpha, high theta. Your consciousness is still there. So beta brainwave activity is kind of second in line. Alpha or theta is first. And so you're aware of your senses, but they're really, really heightened. And you're allowing energy, whether it's universal energy, God source energy, spirit, multidimensional, whatever you're working with, allowing it to come into the body to speak through you. But you're very aware of it. Your mouth is moving, you hear the words, you come back and you're like, I remember that. Like Lee Harris is a great example of this, where he can just sit in, close his eyes, the Z's come in, he talks right to it, through it. When he comes back, he's aware of what questions were asked, and he can speak to the points and really hold that space of processing after the information comes through. And then there is a full body incorporation, and this is more of a shutdown. It has more of a distance between beta brainwaves, which is our conscious memory, versus the deep theta delta. And this is how Edgar Cayce worked, the sleeping prophet. And this is often how I work, is where I bring spirit in, and I don't have a memory or a recollection of what they've said, which is a little alarming when you come back and you observe who's been listening, and they're looking at you like, and you're like, I have no clue. Please don't look at me like I know something. It's really freaky. Just kind of put your head down. You're like, thank you so much for coming. Like this show's over. I don't know. So this is, the spirit has full use and autonomy, but you don't get the joy of remembering the information that comes through. So it's really best to have somebody sit with you or have a recording on. I prefer somebody sitting with you. So that's kind of the stages. It's like light, medium, and then medium to deep.
Do you think anyone can learn to do this, or do you think it's specific to having like a unique sort of disposition towards it?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Because I'm in the house of anybody can learn it. But if you don't have the right disposition, you need to learn how to have the right disposition. Like you have to really work on your perspective, your openness, your willingness. It's the work of staying neutral. And it's difficult because you're allowing energy to move through you. And because it's using your instrument, your body, you're thinking, it's me. It's not you. And so then if it's not you, are you pretending? Are you imagining? Are you an imposter? Like there's a whole other world of confusion that comes with sharing your instrument with other energy using it. So you need to, yes, have the right disposition. It can be mentally challenging and very isolating and very lonely. You wouldn't think because it's such a cool and interesting tool. But at the same time, it's a world that happens inside of you, and it's very difficult to share about it with the person sitting next to you. The messages that come out, of course, that's shared, that's broadcast. But what happens internally for you to get to that spot, that's all on you. Nobody else is in there with you. Nobody else is taking the mental journey or the brainwave journey to dump down the brainwaves to get to a deeper trance. That's on you. So whenever I teach these classes, I teach them over 4 months to really slow the process down. And I give breaks in between so that you can do the work on your own. Then we regather. We have chat threads. We talk about our feelings, what's happening, so that you're approaching it with more confidence, more connection than using it as a tool. It's more of a skill or a lifestyle shift than just something you grab off the shelf and go, I'm going to use this today. Like, maybe not.
Can I ask you? I had an experience where I had smoked some kind of synthetic neurotoxin that Harmony had given me, and I was in a whiteout. But she says that I reached out and asked for her to hold my hand. But all I remember is waking up, the two of us holding hands. Is that a kind of example of what you're talking about, of being in the delta wave and you're transmitting knowledge? Obviously, I wasn't transmitting anything at all except wanting connection, which is a lot. But it's not like a download of Akashic records,
No, it's a perfect example.
Is it?
It's chemically induced or otherly induced trance states.
Okay.
Yeah, this can be done with sleep deprivation.
Right.
Even alcohol can cause this to people. Psilocybin, traumatic incidences, wounds, things of that nature can increase chance of going into deep trance states. So yes, you're communicative, you're alert, but it's not processing in your memory bank.
Not at all.
It's like a subconscious memory bank. That's where it's going. So we can access it. You can get there. I love how they call it subconscious, but I associate it as a higher consciousness thing, but we call it sub.
And then there's like more of it than our actual consciousness, so it's kind of weird.
Who made that map? We need to redo that map.
It should be called like the overlord consciousness.
There you go. One up there. That's where your can you hold my hand went. And so if you went up and accessed those higher frequencies, all of what was around that would come back to you consciously in your beta brainwave.
That's amazing. Okay. I have one last question. I'm very curious about your tattoos, and I wonder if your tattoos in any way is it different or harder for you to get a tattoo given your sensitivity to energy? And so what specifically happened for you that you said, I need to get these images on my arm?
My arm, my back, my legs. My first one was the open lotus with Om. So the sound of the universe or the sound of God into my open soul. It's at the base of my back. For my yogic practice, for connecting to the seat of the soul. And I felt like I needed it with me. It helped me stay more in my body. I'm highly sensitive, but I think my pain threshold is pretty strong. So none of it was an issue. Those are my ferns. They're called ghost ferns.
Ghost ferns. Yeah, I didn't think that. I thought about energetically, not as physical pain. Is that a line of chakras on your arm?
It is my family.
Oh, amazing.
So
Oh,
I'm actually 1/16 Muskogee Indian.
okay.
Awesome.
I don't look like it. I got the cheeks and I get the wrinkles. And so in Muskogee Indian, the seer that communicates to the dead is the blackbird,
Okay.
the crow, the raven. And so the raven is me.
That's my spirit
And
guide.
that is my light around my feet, and my light carries my family. This is my daughter, the changeling. She's the moon. This is my son. He's the sun. And this is my husband. He's the compass, my direction. And this is my light. And it comes all the way up. The bird is looking at my heart. The the artist was like, we don't put birds facing. We always put birds flying away. And I was like, you will not. This bird is flying to my heart. And he was like, we're going to position the bird. I was like, no, you're not. So he put it this way. He loved it after. And so then the light comes all the way up.
Wow.
That's so beautiful.
And then my cicada, my voice.
Oh, the
the
cicada.
cicada. Amazing.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like if ink is going on my body, it has to have the most beautiful meaning. And, the ferns, the fiddle ferns, how they unfurl, and they're so delicate, but they're so strong at the same time. It's just, I love always growing and always learning something new. I'm never going to be the same person I was. I'm not going to be the same person after our conversation. Like this has been just delightful and so opening. And I appreciate how you guys seek people to just have real live conversations with, to bring knowledge and information and experiences from other people to a greater platform. And it's more of like, just look, see this, and just by doing that, a person will maybe get interested in something. Hopefully they'll continue to binge your podcast, but if they find a topic that they like, I hope they're encouraged, like, put their fingers to the keyboard, research it, dive into it, give them permission to, explore, grow into something different.
Totally.
So it's exciting.
It's so important.
The first.
Okay, I have one more question before we let you escape. So
You can hold me captive as long as
okay,
you like.
amazing. Don't say that. I might keep you forever. So actually, maybe there's two more questions. But the first one is about if somebody wants to deepen their, clairs, their claircognizance, clairvoyance, their ability to channel or see energy. I mean, to me, it sounds like, especially with the brainwaves, developing some kind of meditation practice would be vital. But what other tools could people work on that would help them kind of clear their own channel so that they can channel?
Okay, let's take this in two different ways.
Okay.
Let's take it for the one that's more of a feeler and more of a heady person.
Okay.
Because I think there's quite a different, approach for these two kind of styles. And so for the heady person, I would probably say to you, you're doing this whether you know it or not. So let's highlight that for you. We need your left side of the brain to start cheering you on rather than looking for all the things that go, that's not it. You're not doing that. That's BS. That's my imagination. That's not true. Like it's shutting you down. So take on this homework. Just trust me with this one if you're a heady person, please. Try 3 days. 3 days, pen and paper, not in your phone. Get pen and paper. There's a system here. And I want you to write down all the intuitive hits that you get, all the stuff that you think, and you're like, why am I thinking that? I want you to write it down. If you have a weird dream, just write down a few sentences about the dream. If you're like, I'm thinking of my mom and I don't know why, write down thinking of mom. And then maybe mom calls 5 minutes later and you're like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
No, it's not weird. It's called premonition. It's called connection. You're okay. We're just going to reword, your structures. After 3 days, go back and look at it and let your brain see in a book format piece of paper, because you've been trained in all your years of school that knowledge rests on paper and that you can read that and take it for fact and truth. So that's why we're putting it on paper and read it and go, oh, I actually do that way more than I thought I did. And your brain will go, oh, that's true. And then when it starts to happen in real time, the left side of your brain will go, it's happening again. Take note. This is real. This is, oh my gosh, this is your intuition. And you'll go, yeah, it is. And you'll start to realize you do it so much more already, even from the get-go. So that's a great start. And then another thing for the heady, you might not like me for this one.
I like you for all of it. Listeners might not like you, but I love you.
I would say try a monotask. Because when you're really heady, you believe you're more talented at multitasking. You're going to think about all kinds of things, what my body is doing. I'm chewing gum, I'm planning my meal, I'm listening to some music, and I'm also cleaning up. And then this is what I got to do next. And you think you're just being awesome and your head's so busy. When your head is busy like that, you can't read the subtle light energy signs that your body is picking up on. It's called subtle light energy for a reason. It's subtle. And if you're being loud and big with all of your thoughts and you're multitasking, subtle is not going to present itself. So we got to give it some space. And to give it some space is to monotask, which means just to do one thing. So if you're chewing gum,
Just chew gum.
you just get to chew gum. You don't get to chew gum and listen to music.
Or walk the dogs
And
and listen
dust.
to a podcast.
I feel so seen. Like 20 tabs open listening to something at 2 times the speed.
As it turns out, I'm the feeler and you're the heady one. Oh my goodness.
Shocker. Yeah, one thing. And so here's a quick little thing you can do is you can count 1 to 5, or you can say the alphabet without having another thought. Not going, oh, I just said the number 1. That's a thought. Go back to number 1. And you just say 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I just thought, oh, she's nodding her head in agreement. So I would go back to 1, 1, 2, and just see how high you can get and just monotask that skill.
That's how I started meditating, actually.
Look at
It's
that.
like a type of Zen meditation or Chan meditation where you just count the breath. And every time you have a thought, you go back to 1.
That's it.
As competitive
that's it.
as you are, that would really just get under your skin.
It worked. And then if you can get all the way up to 10, you go back to 1.
Beautiful. Yes. And you can just keep counting as well.
Yeah.
11 and up.
But usually
And
you
go
get to
with it.
10 and you're like, yes!
I'm done. What can I do next? So that will help calm the mind. Both of those cases help you see the abilities you already have and calm the mind so that the body is more sensitive so that you can feel those gut instincts and those hits. For emotional people, I would say your homework is anytime you go to have a conversation, at the beginning of the conversation, announce to yourself what emotion you're in. Start practicing naming the emotion you're in. And it might be multiple emotions: excited, nervous, elated, curious. And now you go into the conversation. You don't have to say it before every sentence, but just announce it before you get into a new thing. You get into your car, before you start driving, announce the emotions you're in. Not the feelings, not the physical feelings, the emotions. So we want to build your emotional vocabulary. We want to build your awareness of what you're experiencing, what you're going through at that time. I don't need you to know why. I don't need you to know where it came from, to label it, to like it, to dislike it. Don't care about any of that. I just want you to just kind of name it so that your brain goes, we are having many emotions right now. I was just thinking we're good. That's what the brain is saying. We're good.
We're fine.
We're fine.
We're fine.
fine.
That's a good one. We're fine. It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
That is really helpful, actually, and I do.
Like, okay isn't even an emotion, actually.
I do that. I say I can see I'm really frustrated, but I'm going to go walk the dogs.
Yes. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Please continue that, broaden that, because it'll bring out your psychic, it'll bring out your intuition, like it will start to work with you. The other thing that you can do is when you are, I guess you could say triggered, or when you're having a reaction to something, ooh, whether it's excited or not, I want you to immediately go, is this mine?
Oh,
Is this mine?
yeah.
You walk into a room and you're like, ooh, wait, is this mine?
Yeah. What do they
Because
call
you're
that?
reading.
My kryptonite is that.
Your
It is.
kryptonite?
Yeah,
You absorb and
it's
you
like
feel everybody else.
if I get triggered, it's me. It's mine. Yeah, it's and yeah, it's overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, and it might not be yours at all.
Yeah.
At all. You could be so sensitive where you're reading it from the person that was there 3 days ago that left a bomb of energy that nobody cleaned up. Or it could be that you're reading it from 3 weeks or 2 years ahead of you where a situation happened because time's not linear, it's stacked. And so you're so sensitive, you're picking it up from the future sense. And now you're trying to manage it and you think it's all you and you're the one all fucked up and you're the one having to manage it and you don't understand what's happening. You're like, where the hell is this all coming from? It wasn't you at all. It was other, and you were reading the information and collecting it. So if you check in with yourself often and go, is this mine? And then you'll feel this, yes, it is. And you're like, okay, I need to handle this. And sometimes you'll get this pushback like, no, it's not mine. You're like, overwhelming, too much. What is this? And you don't understand it. That's when you know it's not yours. So you get to set it down. You get to leave it behind. It's not yours. You don't have to process it. You don't have to imagine that it's yours to take care of it. Just set it down, keep going. And so when you learn the difference of what's generated by you versus what you're reading intuitively, oh my gosh, your abilities, they just instantly like wildfire, they just blossom. It just gets stronger. You're more confident. You're more aware. Now you can go into crowds of people. Now you can go to a concert and you're like, guess what? Everybody's feelings. Go ahead and be big. You're not mine. And you don't take them home with you. You don't absorb them. You don't have to process it. You don't get overwhelmed by the loudness, nothing like that, because you have now discovered this invisible acceptance barrier, you know? I love all that's mine and you get to take what's yours. I get to see it, maybe feel it, identify it, but it's cool.
No, Harmony has that. I don't.
Yeah, I have that barrier
She
for
has that.
sure.
And we know that I don't.
Yeah, but she's telling you how to develop it.
I'm hearing that.
Do you just tuck in behind her when she goes through a crowd? You just like get behind her and hold onto her skirt?
She should wear skirts, yeah.
Hold onto her fabric.
He sends me out. Go do that thing.
Can you go order the meal? Can you go pick
Exactly.
it up? Can you?
No, it's interesting. You know, Sunday we were driving home with our young man, and he was controlling my window. And I was like, no, don't control my window. That's my window. And I was pulling my window, and he kept pulling my window.
He was putting it down, and the son who was driving
and I said,
was
stop,
putting it up.
Stop. Can you stop controlling my fucking window, please? And then I went back to talking to Harmony, and I just completely let it go. He and I had already made an appointment to play video games together when I got home, and he blew it off. He was so upset. His whole evening was wrecked, and he didn't want to have anything to do with us. He was upset. He didn't say goodbye to us at night. But I knew that I had taken it on, and it was my emotion, my energy, and I was so upset I couldn't sleep. And I talked to Harmony about it. It's like, I'm so fucking pissed that his whole evening is now wrecked. And like, I just want someone to not fucking fuck with me. Like, I'm just fucking tired of it. But like, why is he the one that's now angry? You know, it's like, oh, I was so upset. It's like, but there's like so many circles of people owning each other's energy, but not having to.
So much of it. Miscommunication.
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, we were driving home from my parents' house, so that's like a whole other circle of energy to take on.
It was fine.
I bet.
It was fine.
Oh, this conversation is so good, and these assignments are so good. I'm going to take them to heart.
Same.
I love it.
Yay!
I feel just like so many things that you've said have like been like check, like messages I've been getting that I have not acted on. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it 100%. I hope all the listeners also play along with us, and they should also tag you in Instagram and me and the podcast, and we will share it if they're playing along. That would be so fun.
Yes.
What is your
And
Instagram?
Maybe you can tell everyone where to find you, what's coming
Yes.
up, and how to work with you.
Thank you. You can find me at jamiebutlermedium.com. That's the website. It's also the handle on Instagram and Facebook. That's usually where we play, as well as YouTube. Jamie Butler Medium.
Jamie Butler.
Amazing YouTube channel.
Medium.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we have retreats coming up.
Yeah, you have a retreat coming up in September, I think, right? In North Carolina?
Yes.
I love
Yes,
it there.
the unspoken language of telepathy. So we start 21 days before the retreat online,
Okay.
doing lesson work every day.
Amazing.
And then we meet in person and we put it into practice.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Everyone go check it out.
Jamie
That sounds
Butler
amazing.
Medium.
Okay, you got a new follower right now.
Oh, no I.
JAMIE.
Yeah, that's where I went wrong.
Beautiful. We are so grateful that you came and had this wonderful conversation.
Jamie_Butler_medium.
Oh, yes. That is the Instagram,
The
right?
Instagram.
The underscore.
Yes.
That's
I am
good.
following you now.
We'll
Thank
put
you.
all of the links in the show notes so everyone can easily find you. And yeah, come check you out, work with you, either in person or online. So, and you have a beautiful membership too, I think.
I do on YouTube. I thoroughly enjoy our group of luminaires, those who shine light. And we do meditations and healings and channeling messages and Q&As, all kinds of things.
Incredible.
So it's fun.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Jamie. It's
Jamie.
such a pleasure.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you to the both of you. I've loved this so much. Thank you for the level of comfort, the ease, and the absolute joy that you bring to the table. It's really authentic.
Thank you. I just love those tips at the end about learning to listen to your intuition, your intuitive hits, about monotasking, so really doing one thing at a time, and paying attention to your sensations, to how you're feeling in your body, starting to become aware of what's around you and concentrating, right? Having that one pointed focus. That's really what Patanjali is talking about in the Yoga Sutras. Creating one pointed focus. What happens when you have that one pointed focus is the world opens up. And if something inside of you wants to open your world up, to step away from the noise of everyday life and reconnect with yourself in a deeper way, then I have a few beautiful opportunities coming up that I'd love to share with you. October 2nd to the 4th, I will be in Philadelphia teaching a workshop at Mysore Yoga Philadelphia. And then, don't forget, we will be gathering on the breathtaking west coast of Canada for an intimate retreat experience. This is the first of its kind, and we are so excited to be able to share this medicine with you. This is truly going to be transformational, including yoga, meditation, embodiment practices, art therapy, nature immersion, powerful breathwork experiences designed to open that door to expanded states of awareness, insight, and connection. This is going to be the perfect time for you to slow down, to connect to those intuitive hits, to listen deeply, and to really remember what matters, to release any of those stories and limiting beliefs that have been tying you up and holding you down. So if your heart's telling you that you need to be here and join us at this beautiful center, then don't ignore it. Reach out soon as spaces are filling up and we are keeping the group intentionally small. And you'll find all the details in the show notes. Send me a DM on Instagram at Harmony Slater Official, and we can be in conversation to find out if this is the experience for you. Until next time, continue to trust your intuition, start to develop it, take some steps forward, and find out what's on the other side for you. That's it. We've concluded another episode of the Finding Harmony podcast. I just want to thank you so much for doing the work that changes the world, starting with yourself. It truly does make a huge difference. Please make sure you have your automatic downloads turned on wherever you listen so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. I have so much more magic I can't wait to share with you. Lastly, if you're on Instagram, I love connecting and hearing from you. So come on over and say hello at Finding Harmony Podcast. And you can also come say hello to me personally at Harmony Slater Official. Thank you again for being here. I cannot wait to share more with you in our next episode.